Woohoo! It's us again, Charles and the Kraken. And this time, we're going to have a great time. Big news. We've explored a couple of places and we've probably found our base camp. We're still waiting back from the real estate to say whether we've got it or not.
We were just 100 yards up there, so it's a great location. This is really beautiful. Yeah, it's nice.
When we're riding out of town, it's really quite easy, but it's surprising the bike path doesn't go all along the river like it does on the south side. So there's a few bits where you have to go on the road. But generally, the bike path is excellent. It's beautiful and flat, really well maintained, easy to follow, and there's lots of really cool stuff to see. You could say that for both coming in and out of Porto.
Bom dia and adios, Porto.
And we're going over a bridge on the way out. There's a really good bike path and everything. But you see the big ships that are in the basin downstream of the bridge. So there's this, drawbridge that you go across, and that's the way out to sea. So it's kind of really interesting. You don't see many drawbridges in Australia. And it's funny how the big ships are further into the basin.
These bars, they're completely empty at the moment, but we've been told by the locals that they're full in summer and they're beautiful. This is another example of the bike paths just being excellent.
Okay, just behind us there's another oil refinery, and by the looks of it, it's mothballed. It's definitely not operating. This morning an ex-operator, Michael Stumpf, sent me a photo of my old oil refinery, Bulwa Island, being turned into a tank farm, so it all being demolished and knocked down. I might attach that to the video. But it's sad to see, places that used to be full of workers and purpose being shut down and mothballed. And I think about the pain all the workers went through. But it's a transition that we're all going to have to make. So it's sad, but it's also good, I suppose. I mean, this door closes, other doors open.
Well, after that sadness, we're back on the bike paths. These board bike paths, they're really great. They're shared with the locals, so you can't go as fast as you'd like to.
Thanks again to Hamish for this hat. He's such a generous fellow, our Hamish.
There's also these excellent places where it's running just a bit back from the water, where you have all these lovely fields. And it's really kind of cool. It's not like in a lot of places where you go, it feels like it's for the tourists. But these areas to the north of Porto feel like they're for the locals, and the tourists really haven't made an inroads there. And there's some places the dune has moved over onto the path, which makes it a bit challenging. You can't really ride it, you just end up pushing your way through it. This is really beautiful. It's a little town. We stopped at. There was a vegan restaurant. It was really nice.
Back in the day, the Portuguese were great sailors. They explored the world. They set out. They went where no one else had gone before. It was almost like the Starship Enterprise they were in. Now, they look very old, but they were the height of technology in their day. And now we have the height of technology, two bikes that are also wildly going out and exploring new places.
Vegan banana cream pie, it was divine. PJ, she had a suit because she's not very, adventurous. There's a cluster of these towns all the way up the coast that you just ride into, and they're really kind of cool. Not only is this, the Camino, but it's also EuroVelo1 as well, so the Atlantic route. You find in Portugal that there's heaps and heaps of tiles, and they're usually showing you scenes of their history. Also, there was these markets that were on, and as you were riding along the road, there was a lot of markets right on the side of the road where all the locals were stopping. It made it a bit challenging to ride past. we tend not to stay in hospitals very much because we don't think they're great value, but sometimes they are, and this is an example of one where we were the only people there, and it was really great, and it was rated like a 9.5 on booking.com. Not only was it a great and beautiful, but it was also a lovely place just to like think about where we are and think about where I am in my life and have those contemplatory moments that I'm sure I'll find a lot more of going forward. I really haven't, come to terms with my retirement yet. It just feels like a holiday.
Really, you cannot ask for better paths than these. This is absolutely beautiful.
It's just totally awesome. It's just like, these are the roads that we came to Europe for. These are the bike paths we saw online and we wanted to do. There's nothing like this in Australia, let me tell you. All the bike paths are short and they don't go anywhere. And I love how in the towns in Europe, there's always this part that is totally like car free and you can just get around it.
Talk about a complicated urban environment. Here's PJ pushing her bike up onto the ramparts of a fort, which has a massive tree growing out of the top of the ramparts, but is completely intact and still in use today. There's all these office buildings built inside of it that look like the original barracks buildings. And then you turn and then there's a big, wind turbine, and there's a working port right there. Then you turn a little bit more wind turbine blades. Then you turn and then there's a fishing basin. So you can see the basin down there for the fishermen. Then there's the river with the port over there. Then there's this other fishing basin. And then if you walk over, to the other edge of the fort, ramparts, which are massive. These have got to be, the wall's got to be 40 feet thick. Most of it's probably earth, but they're definitely stone ramparts here, as you can see, where they would have had the cannon. And this is facing inland. Then you have the city and the old town over there, which is really lovely. So it's really good. And then up on the hill, there's this big church up on top of the hill, and there's a cable car to get up there, and then there's a monastery at the top. It's really quite lovely. I'll take you over and show you the front of the fort. It's like quite medieval. I couldn't imagine storming the fort. It'd be difficult to do. Well, they really take good care of this. There's so much stuff that it's almost impossible to keep up with it all. And then that's the entrance over there, and you can see how thick the walls are. Anyway, very interesting. Here's probably even a better view. So you can see the walls there and the moat next to it. So there's the moat. Okay, it's not very full, the moat. And if you go back, that's the whole fort sort of thing over there. And they must be the old barracks. They've been turned into offices now. There's our bikes up on top of the wall right over in the distance. The town's behind it. And then you can see the river and the basins, the fishing basins and everything like that. Up there you can see the beach and the hills. We just rode over those. Fishing boat coming in now. Then you come over here and you've got all those wind turbine blades, and then you've got an actual wind turbine. And then you've got a dry dock with 2 boats in it. And then you're back again. And all the warehouses in the background. The moat's really cool, PJ said, and I agree with her. This is a really cool fort. And just out of interest, this is not a tourist attraction. You just ride straight in. This is the working office environment.
Yeah, we rode to the hotel and we went through the fishing port, and these little storerooms, they have them in Bahrain as well, and PJ just likes caressing a lot of things. This room was really great. It overlooked the fort, and it was just like immaculately clean, and the lady that checked us in was just adorable. She didn't speak any English, we didn't speak any Portuguese, but you could just tell she was a lovely lady, and the apartment was absolutely wonderful. Okay, PJ's making the phone call. This is the make or break phone call. Either they've done it, or if they haven't done it, we're back to square one.
It was the last number I called yesterday, I think.
I don't know why she's not using her superpower of nagging.
Então, bom dia, posso ajudar?
Olá, bom dia. It's Penelope Fry.
Desculpa?
Desculpa, bom dia. English, por favor?
Sim, sim, sim.
Desculpa.
Yes?
It's Penelope.
Yes, hi Penelope. Do you want to talk to Andrea?
Andrea, sim, por favor.
I'm gonna to give her the phone, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, bom dia. How are you?
Hi, so good. So, Penelope, it's only missing the contract in English. I'll guess that today I will send you for your email, okay?
Okay, excellent.
This is all good.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
We'll come tomorrow and sign the originals for you.
Okay, tomorrow you come here, okay?
Sim. Okay.
Okay.
Ciao. Obrigada.
Bye.
Bye. We got the house.